Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 346 based on novel. So let's start. Noble Money may seem like a very vulgar name, but in the rank 6 region, it represented the word ruthless. As an elder of the Clear Flower sect, he had reached the early stage of Nirvana Shatterer. He had shocking spells, and due to his personality, if you provoked him and lacked a powerful cultivation level or sect, then the only result was death. More than 1,000 years ago, a small sect of the rank 6 region actually killed one of his disciples. He slaughtered his way into the sect and completely destroyed the sect with some of his friends, leaving behind a bloodbath. This battle made him famous, and every sect in the rank 6 region learned of his name. At this moment, his expression was gloomy as he sat on the head of a python with dragon-shaped head. As the spirit beast moved through the rank 5 region, disciples of the Clear Flower sect followed him. I didn't think that clue would be true. Every time Noble Money thought of his matter, his heart beat faster. Several months ago, his Clear Flower sect accidentally found some clue related to the legendary Nirvana Void Pill and a jade that showed one how to become a core disciple of the Heaven-Breaking sect. As a native cultivator of the Cloud Sea, Noble Money obviously knew of the heaven-shaking event that occurred 18,000 years ago in the Cloud Sea. 18,000 years ago in the Cloud Sea, the Heaven-Breaking sect was a rank 8 sect ready to move into the mighty rank 9 region. 2 months before the move, they accidentally found a spatial crack, and it was filled with restrictions and danger. The Heaven-Breaking sect gathered large amounts of cultivators together to enter the crack, including elders that were at Heaven's Blight. They broke their way through and had countless casualties. In the end, they found a corpse in the depths of the spatial crack. There were 3 things next to the corpse: a pill, a broken sword, and a piece of beast bone. After obtaining the 3 items, the elders of the Heaven-Breaking sect went crazy and quickly left the spatial crack to return to the Heaven-Breaking sect. This was because their discovery was too incredible and could shock the entire Cloud Sea star system. It was possible for the Heaven-Breaking sect take over supremacy from the rank 9 God sect. However, they had a traitor in their midst, and the news got leaked out. What awaited them was the entire rank 8 region moving against them. Countless old monsters that rarely appeared all participated in this battle that made their eyes red. However, the Heaven-Breaking sect, which had the right to enter the rank 9 region, had the power to battle the entire rank 8 region. A bloodbath was created in the rank 8 region. The rank 7 region was affected, and they also sent out cultivators, and the rank 6 region was also dragged in. Even the rank 5 region was affected, and a catastrophe that swept across the Cloud Sea began. This matter was extremely fierce. Even after 18,000 years, Noble Money would tremble when thinking about this. In the end, this caused the rank 9 region that almost never interfered to finally step in. This matter was a bit disadvantageous for the Heaven-Breaking sect, and at this moment, the Heaven-Breaking sect split. A large amount of people in the Heaven-Breaking sect weren't willing to fight for these 3 items. They traded the pill and broken sword for their survival. They also maintained their original trajectory of moving to the rank 9 region. A small part of the Heaven-Breaking sect took the beast bone fragment and began a life and death battle with those that tried to steal them before disappearing into the long river of history. As for the beast bone with the pill recipe, it disappeared, and no one knew where it went. Some believed it was taken by the cultivators of the rank 9 region, and others believed that it was hidden among one of the rank 8 sects that fought against the Heaven-Breaking sect. In the end, this matter ended, and where the beast bone went remained a mystery. That was until 18,000 years later, when the Clear Flower sect found a clue. Whether this clue was true or false, it shocked the entire Clear Flower sect. They immediately locked down the information and even killed some of the disciples that knew of this matter. This matter was simply too shocking. If they were a bit careless, it would lead to the destruction of their sect. After all, the bloody lesson the Heaven-Breaking sect learned was enough to warn people. Compared to the Heaven-Breaking sect of the past, the Clear Flower sect was like an ant. They had no qualification to hold this beast bone fragment. Although they were greedy, they weren't intending on keeping it for themselves. They were hoping to find the beast bone fragment and then gift it to a powerful rank 8 sect in exchange for a large amount of benefits and long-term protection. They also hoped to use this to get help from the rank 8 sect to become the overlord of the rank 6 region. However, all of this would depend on whether this clue was true. If they only gave the clue to the rank 8 sect and it turned out to be false, then the Clear Flower sect couldn't afford the anger of the rank 8 sect. This was why they didn't dare to hand over a clue and went to check it themselves. However, if they wanted to check it, they would have to prevent any rumors from spreading so the other rank 6 sects wouldn't notice that something was wrong. Also, this clue led to a sect in the rank 3 region, so if a large amount of Clear Flower sect disciples moved, they would raise the suspicion of the other sects. This was the one thing the Clear Flower sect was worried about. In the end, they chose the dependable head disciple, Shaluoxing, to take 19 disciples and secretly head to the rank 3 region. Shaluoxing's cultivation level wasn't the highest in the rank 6 region, so him taking some disciples and leaving wouldn't cause too much attention. This was proven true when no unnecessary trouble occurred even after he reached the rank 3 region. However, Shaluoxing didn't think that clue was true. He easily obtained the beast bone fragment and got a jade. However, just as he was on his way back to the Clear Flower sect, he was pursued by the 5 Poison sect. The other sects of the rank 6 region also learned of this matter. Shaluoxing, you must hold on. Noble Money's origin energy was injected into the spirit beast below him. The spirit beast moved even faster as it pierced through layers of fog toward the wild continent. He was only leading the first batch of aid. Behind him, almost the entire Clear Flower sect had moved out. While they were rushing through the star fog, Noble Money's gaze narrowed as he saw a cultivator within the range of his divine sense. This cultivator was riding on a 1,000 feet black ape. Along the way here, this white-haired cultivator wasn't the first cultivator he had seen. However, this place wasn't far from the wild continent, so Noble Money couldn't help but pay attention. While he moved forward, his gaze was still locked onto the white-haired cultivator. Not only him, but the 10 or so Clear Flower sect disciples were all looking at the white-haired cultivator. These gazes seemed solid, and Wang Lin's face turned pale and revealed a shocking stare as he looked dumbfoundedly at the more than 10 rays of light. He stopped in the air as if he had forgotten how to fly. He knew that his cultivation was a bit strange and outsiders couldn't see through it right away, so it might cause some unnecessary suspicion. Thus, he kept his origin energy always active at the mid-stage of Nirvana Scrya. Noble Money withdrew his gaze. He was impatient to go to the wild continent. At first glance, he found nothing abnormal about this white-haired cultivator who was obviously shocked by their sudden appearance. According to the star map he had, there were several wild continents nearby. Looking at the white-haired cultivator's path, this person had obviously come from another wild continent. He longer paid any attention to Wang Lin. He then ordered his spirit beast to pass right by Wang Lin. The other disciples also withdrew their gazes as they passed by Wang Lin. Wang Lin was secretly relieved. He couldn't see through what sect they were from, but they were obviously cultivators from the rank 6 region. They were heading toward the wild continent. However, just at this moment, a ray of light broke through from the distance at an unimaginable speed. This light was bright, and Wang Lin clearly saw a jade inside. This was obviously someone sending a message at jade. These spells were used within sects to transfer messages using jade that moved far faster than cultivators. They didn't have to worry about it being intercepted because unless one knew the right seal, the jade would collapse immediately. In order to prevent any accidents, more than one jade was sent out at a time. This jade moved too fast and passed by Wang Lin in the blink of an eye. It landed in the hand of Noble Money, who hadn't gone far. Noble Money's expression changed, then his left hand formed a seal and he used a unique hand seal to check the jade. Once his divine sense entered the jade, his body trembled. This was a jade sent by the cultivators in the second wave. There was only one piece of information inside, and it stated that Shaluoxing's life tablet had shattered. Shaluoxing had died. Noble Money's expression became extremely gloomy and he mercilessly squeezed the jade. Then his gaze suddenly fell on Wang Lin. He didn't suspect Wang Lin, but now Shaluoxing was dead, and they didn't know who killed him. Whether it was the 5 Poison sect or any of the other rank 6 sects, they were all targets of suspicion. This matter was of great importance, and Noble Money would rather kill 1,000 innocent people than let one get away. Take him to the wild continent. Noble Money pointed at Wang Lin, and 8 of the disciples flew toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression changed. He stood up with respect but also just the right amount of panic. Fellow cultivators, what is the meaning of this? Don't make us act. Fellow cultivator, quickly, follow us. Among the 8 disciples, 6 of them were at the corporeal yang stage and 2 of them were at early stage of nirvana skriya. If they met Wang Lin under normal circumstances, they wouldn't dare to do this. After all, Wang Lin had higher cultivation level than them. However, with Elder Noble Money here and this being a great matter for their sect, they all became hostile. He couldn't go back to the wild continent with these people. Due to the black ape, all the fierce beasts on that wild continent firmly remembered Wang Lin. If Wang Lin went back, the fierce beasts would be set off. The agitation from the wild beasts would be a dead giveaway to anyone who was already suspicious. This would explain that Wang Lin was coming from this wild continent. Adding Shaluoxing's death, even if the rank 6 sect found out that he was killed by the old woman from the 5 poison sect, they would still cast great suspicion on Wang Lin. Once this suspicion appeared, they would search Wang Lin's storage space, and the tyrannical cultivators would directly search his soul. This would be a disaster for Wang Lin. His face was filled with an indignant expression. No one would find this suspicious. Anyone would feel indignant by this, but they'd still have to follow. However, just as the 8 core disciples closed in and Wang Lin ordered the black ape to move as if he was going to follow, killing intent flash in Wang Lin's eyes. He couldn't go back to the wild continent, going back would mean death. Out of the 18 cultivators, the person leading was at the Nirvana Shatra stage, but the highest cultivation level of the remaining 17 was only early stage Nirvana Cleanser. Once he attacked, he'd have to finish this in a short period of time. There were obviously more cultivators approaching, so he would have to finish in a short period of time. He also couldn't leave any survivors. Wang Lin raised his head and took a step forward as he waved his hand. Call the Wind appeared and turned into 5 dragons that charged at 5 of the surrounding people. At the same time, the black ape waved its arms and began its attack. Wang Lin moved like lightning and immediately arrived near the Nirvana Skriya cultivator. He was far faster than the Nirvana Skriya cultivator. The Nirvana Skriya cultivator's pupils shrank and he wanted to dodge, but soon his vision was covered by a finger. This finger quickly landed between the cultivator's eyebrows and left, leaving behind a bloody hole. The power of a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator rushed into the cultivator's body and crushed his origin soul. Wang Lin didn't pause at all and moved like water. After killing one, he charged into another one and pointed at the cultivator's body several times. Popping sounds came from the cultivator's body and blood sprayed everywhere. At this moment, the black dragons from Call the Wind had arrived on the 5 people. Those 5 were only at the corporeal yang stage, so they stood no chance against Bai Fan's spell. They weren't able to resist at all as the black dragons entered their bodies and then their bodies exploded. Along with them, the 2 killed by Wang Lin also exploded. The last person was hit by the black ape's fierce strikes and a miserable scream echoed. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. It was unbelievably fast. The 8 of them exploded almost at the same time, dyeing the area around Wang Lin red. Noble Money, who was moving away, suddenly turned around and was filled with shock. However, this shock quickly changed to ferociousness as he charged at Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression was neutral but also bitter. His original body wasn't here, so unless he was forced to, why would he provoke a Nirvana Shatra cultivator? However, he didn't have time to think, as he had already killed 8 people. Wang Lin quickly stepped forward. He had to kill everyone beside the Nirvana Shatra cultivator as soon as possible. Otherwise, if one of them escaped, Wang Lin would find it difficult to move even an inch in the Cloud Sea star system. However, the remaining 9 people, along with the Nirvana Shatra cultivator, immediately realized this and scattered. Noble Money charged forward and shot out a ray of black light to stop Wang Lin from moving forward. Coldness flashed in Wang Lin's eyes as his right hand formed a seal and slaughter energy strands rushed out from his body. They condensed into layers of defense and Wang Lin rushed forth. As he rushed out, he felt like he was colliding with the universe, and the slaughter energy strands around Wang Lin all collapsed. The spells of a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator couldn't be underestimated. All the slaughter energy immediately dissipated and a powerful force rushed into Wang Lin's body, causing him to cough out a mouthful of blood. However, he charged out from the black light. As Noble Money closed in, he charged at the 9 people that were scattering. Flames appeared in his left eye, and as he waved his left hand, a sea of flames appeared. There were 3 people inside the sea of flames, and they immediately screamed and were burned to ashes. The remaining 6 turned pale and quickly retreated. Wang Lin's face was pale and he was about to give chase. However, just at this moment, Noble Money let out an angry roar and closed in. His right hand formed a seal and the black light turned into a black spear and closed in on Wang Lin. Seeing that the 6 people were about to scatter and Noble Money was closing in, Wang Lin's eyes became bloodshot. He knew that the cultivation level gap between him and Noble Money was too high. Once he stopped, he wouldn't be able to kill those 6 at all. The moment the spear closed in, Wang Lin opened his mouth and spat out the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. The moment it appeared, it moved before his body and collided with the spear. With a bang, the Celestial Sealing Stamp smashed into Wang Lin, causing him to cough out blood. But it pushed him toward a person not far away. Wang Lin instantly waved his right hand and a ring of green light fell down on the cultivator's neck. The cultivator's pupils shrank as he lifted his hands and black light appeared to form a shield. However, as Wang Lin waved his hand, the black shield collapsed and both of the cultivator's arms exploded. Finally, the cultivator's head exploded and he died. There are 5 more. Wang Lin's right hand formed a seal and waved. Rain immediately appeared and the countless raindrops gathered to from 5 crystal swords that shot at the remaining 5 clear flower sect disciples. Just at this moment, Noble Money suddenly closed in. His right hand reached at the void and a storage space opened. A white whisk flew out, and Noble Money grabbed it and waved. A type of law suddenly appeared and turned into rays of white light above Wang Lin. These white lights rained down like swords and were simply too fast. Wang Lin suddenly looked up and flames flashed in his left eye, then a suit of crimson-red armor appeared around him. Popping sounds echoed as those white lights landed on Wang Lin's body. His body trembled and he coughed out even more blood. His face became pale and his origin soul dimmed. A ray of white light pierced his right leg, causing it to become a bloody mess. If not for the armor, he would have died. At this moment, the swords formed by Some and the Rain pierced through the bodies of the 5 escaping disciples. As their miserable screams echoed, 4 of their bodies collapsed and their origin souls perished. However, one of them took out a jade and broke it at the moment of danger. He was able to protect his origin soul and then quickly escaped. How could Wang Lin allow this person to escape? His right hand reached at the void and his storage space opened. A ray of sword energy shot out. It was Shuligwa charging straight toward that origin soul. If you don't kill him, you can die. This was the first message Shuligwa heard after appearing. After hearing this, how would he not chase like crazy? There was a flash of silver light from the storage space and the silver female corpse appeared. She didn't help attack Noble Money but went after the life beast spirits that had just lost their owners. All of this happened in a few breaths of time. Killing all the cultivators here beside Noble Money was difficult even for Wang Lin. However, he couldn't relax, as this Nirvana Shatterer cultivator before him was the biggest danger he had to face. The reason he wanted to kill the other cultivators first, aside from not wanting them to escape, was so they couldn't interfere in this fight. If he wanted to kill this Nirvana Shatterer cultivator, he'd have to be completely focused without the slightest disturbance. Only then would he have a sliver of chance. If my original body was here, killing this person would be easier than now. As Wang Lin spoke, his right hand pointed at the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. There was a flash of light and the soul fragments charged out of the 18 layers of hell. The most powerful souls inside were Master Void and the one formed by the fusion of the All-Seer's 2 avatars. They were Wang Lin's aces, and the moment they appeared, a cold energy surrounded the area. Noble Money's expression turned extremely ugly. He didn't think that this white-haired youth would use such strong spells and kill all the core disciples in just a short period of time. And when his spells landed, he actually wasn't able to kill this person. What shocked him even more were the dead souls summoned by this cultivator's spell. 2 of the souls had auras that even made him feel dread. This revealed just how heaven-shattering their cultivation levels were when they were still alive. Even though they were only souls and therefore their strength couldn't compare to when they were alive, they still shocked Noble Money. Wang Lin pointed and Master Void and the All-Seer's soul charged out. However, this wasn't enough to end this battle quickly. If this were to drag on and aid arrived, Wang Lin would without a doubt die. His eyes were bloodshot as his right hand reached at the void. When Master Void and the All-Seer charged out, he took out the iron sword. The moment the iron sword appeared, the stars trembled, and even the surrounding fog churned. It was as if a powerful force had appeared and was pushing the star fog back. Pseudo-Nirvana Void. Noble Money's eyes narrowed. If the death souls from before just shocked him, then the appearance of this iron sword left him in disbelief. Intense greed filled his eyes as he rushed forward and his Nirvana Shatterer cultivation erupted. A Nirvana Shatterer cultivator was far more powerful than a Nirvana Cleaner cultivator, so this was a bitter struggle for Wang Lin. Not only did he have to win, he had to do it quick. Holding the rusted iron sword, Wang Lin retreated as Noble Money charged in. Wang Lin pointed with his left hand and the soul of Master Void and the All-Seer charged out. These 2 battle souls were Wang Lin's most powerful aces aside from the little remaining source origin he had. Along with this iron sword, he was giving it his all. After all, this wasn't like back in Qinglin's cave, where he had the original body to be able to withstand all the attacks. He also had endless ancient god power that allowed him to launch a heaven-shaking attack with just a punch back then. Now there was no opportunity to use Sundered Night, and the shield had shattered when saving Qinglin, so he couldn't use Dream of Ancient Times that the 8-star ancient god had left behind. At this moment, with only his cultivator avatar, it would be very difficult for Wang Lin to kill this cultivator. In particular, right now his right leg was a bloody mess as the white light from Noble Money had pierced through it. There was also origin energy that contained some kind of law raging inside his body. If not for the ancient god leather armor around his origin soul, it would have already collapsed. Fortunately, Wang Lin's body wasn't ordinary. After being refined in the Vermilion Berg Divine Sect, it contained the laws of fire and thunder. As a result, he was able to only be injured rather than die under Noble Money's spell. Wang Lin had experienced many dangers in his life as a cultivator, so he naturally knew the danger of Nirvana Shatterer cultivators. Wang Lin didn't have too much time to think about the danger before him. He had to quickly end this battle and attempt to kill this Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. With a point of his left hand, Master Void and the All-Seer charged at Noble Money. Facing those 2 powerful souls, even Noble Money was extremely cautious. In his entire cultivation life, he had never seen a Nirvana Cleanser cultivator with spells that could threaten Nirvana Shatterer cultivators. The All-Seer's soul almost seemed to have gone crazy and rapidly formed seals to send out spells. These spells were often blurry and not real, but they directed the law of the world toward Noble Money. There was also Master Void's soul. Due to the fact that he had reached his first Heaven's Blight before death, he waved his sleeves and a thunderstorm appeared to counter Noble Money's spell. If Wang Lin wasn't worried about time, then he could use Master Void and the All-Seer to grind Noble Money to death. However, Wang Lin didn't have the time or the celestial origin energy to sustain these 2 powerful souls. Magic Arsenal had consumed most of his celestial origin energy. As Master Void and the All-Seer were fighting with Noble Money, Wang Lin lifted his right hand and stared at the iron sword. He mercilessly slashed down and an earth-shattering ray of sword energy appeared. It turned into the illusion of a giant sword and slashed down on Noble Money. This didn't end here. Wang Lin closed his eyes and gave up control of the iron sword, letting the sword move itself. The iron sword moved as if Wang Lin's hand was glued to it, and another slash was sent out. Rays of light formed an arc through the fog, and each light represented a ray of sword energy. Each ray of sword energy consumed a large amount of origin energy from Wang Lin's body. The sword energy intertwined and looked like a flower. From afar, the curved sword energy rays continued to appear until they formed a flower made of swords before Noble Money. In the blink of an eye, 13 sword strokes fell. Wang Lin was moving his arm with his eyes closed as the sword moved on its own. An unexpectedly shocking aura appeared from Wang Lin, as if everything in the world would be destroyed by this sword. All of this happened in an instant. Noble Money was being entangled by Master Void and the All-Seer. His hand kept forming seals and different spells shot out along with treasures, but his face was pale. Although he knew the Iron Sword was a Nirvana Void treasure, there was a difference in strength between Nirvana Void treasures. What he couldn't imagine was the power of the sword energy. At this moment, he obviously saw the sword energy around him, but he couldn't dodge. He let out a roar and tried to break free from the two souls holding him in place. However, just at this moment, Wang Lin opened his eyes. His face was pale as he pulled back the Iron Sword. He then chopped down 6 times in a row. There was a total of 19 strikes, and they took nearly 60% of Wang Lin's origin energy. Afterwards, he retreated. The illusion of 19 giant swords suddenly appeared around Noble Money. With Wang Lin's current strength, he could use more, but the consequences of using them were greater than Wang Lin expected, so he forcibly interrupted the Iron Sword. With his cultivation level, he could control the sword at 19 strikes, but after 19, he wouldn't be able to stop even if he wanted to. He would only be able to use it until he ran out of strength. Chop! Wang Lin shouted, and the 19 giant swords immediately fell. They linked into continuous sword strikes and charged straight at Noble Money. This was unimaginably fast. Noble Money wasn't able to resist the 19 slashes from the Nirvana Void Sword. A thunderous rumble echoed as the sword slashes penetrated Noble Money's body. His body trembled and was instantly split into 19 parts. Blood erupted everywhere. A miserable roar echoed at the same time as Noble Money's body collapsed. He was, after all, a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator, so his origin soul escaped out from his head. He took that whisked treasure and quickly escaped. He was filled with unimaginable fear. He even had a feeling that this white-haired cultivator knew of the matter about the heaven-breaking sect. It was likely Shaluoxing's death was related to this person. What sect is this person from to have such a powerful treasures? Could he be someone from the rank 8 region? Thinking about this, Noble Money was extremely shocked. His origin soul fled like crazy. He had to tell his sect about this. He also understood that the second wave of his sect would arrive soon, so he only needed to last a bit more. Wang Lin's face was pale. The moment Noble Money's origin soul escaped, a flame appeared in Wang Lin's left eye. A monstrous flame appeared around him, forming a sea of flames. If you looked closely, you would see that there were 9 layers of flames. 9 mysterious transformation. The moment the 9 layers of flame appeared, they rapidly contracted around Wang Lin. Wang Lin's body seemed to be burning as he took a step forward. His body disappeared with this step, and instead, a white vermilion bird several hundred feet wide appeared. This white vermilion bird was Wang Lin. With a wave of his wings, Wang Lin caught up to Noble Money with a trail of flames and smashed into Noble Money's origin soul. Noble Money's origin soul's pupils shrank and let out a scream. He felt death approaching, and at this moment, it was too late to think. Madness filled his eyes as his hand moved and a destructive aura came from his origin soul. At this moment of danger, he chose to self-destruct his origin soul, but at his cultivation level, he could control his self-destruction. His arms suddenly exploded into a storm and closed on in the vermilion bird. The whisked treasure he was holding also exploded into countless white lines that charged at the vermilion bird. However, this wasn't able to stop the vermilion bird before it collided with Noble Money. Flames surrounded Noble Money's origin soul. Miserable screams echoed as Noble Money's origin soul weakened. He desperately retreated while covered in flames and quickly escaped. As he escaped, his hands formed seals and mysterious runes appeared around him. The soul of a giant python appeared before him. The moment it appeared, Noble Money inhaled, causing the soul of the giant python to shrink and collapse in an instant. After absorbing the soul of his life beast spirit, Noble Money escaped like crazy without looking back. The vermilion bird disappeared and Wang Lin appeared. His chest was a bloody mess and white bones were visible. He stared at the escaping noble money, and the killing intent in his eye became even stronger. All-Seer's soul, merge with my divine sense. Wang Lin didn't use the stop spell and instead formed a seal before pointing at the All-Seer's soul. The soul's eyes flashed and turned into a ray of light that entered Wang Lin's body. Wang Lin's body trembled and his eyes suddenly became calm. This calmness made it seem like his gaze had seen through everything. Out of all the cultivators Wang Lin had met in his entire life, the All-Seer was the only cultivator like this. After obtaining Qing Lin's fortune, Wang Lin gained 10 enlightenment about by fan spells. After reaching the limit of magic arsenal, he could make the soul fuse with him. Ignoring the escaping noble money, Wang Lin slowly closed his eyes. At the same time, he lifted his left hand and pointed at distance. In an instant, a storm appeared in the distance and the fog churned violently as yellow ripples spread. At the center of the ripples, a huge palm suddenly appeared with its forefinger raised and rest of the fingers forming a fist. Heavenly Fate Finger. Wang Lin used his own power and the All-Seer's soul as a guide. The Heavenly Fate Finger descended on the Cloud Sea star system. It moved with unimaginable momentum and speed toward the escaping noble money. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't dodge the finger that eventually landed on his body. As the Heavenly Fate Finger replaced everything before noble money, his soul finally collapsed into specks of light. The Heavenly Fate Finger disappeared along with him. The surroundings were completely silent. From when Wang Lin first attacked until now, only a very short period of time had passed. Wang Lin took everything away and charged off into the distance. If my original body was here, this battle wouldn't have been so difficult. The 3 trials and 7 calamities. I don't know if the original body can successfully pass it. Wang Lin's right hand covered his chest. At this moment, countless white threads moved within his chest, giving off bursts of pain. There was a flash of coldness in his eyes as Wang Lin changed directions and disappeared into the horizon. 5 days later, when the continent of Mo Luo slowly appeared before his eyes, Wang Lin let out a breath of relief. He chose a direction after calculating where the cultivators would arrive from. He simply made a huge circle and was fortunate that he was able to successfully avoid any more conflicts. Wang Lin didn't know that shortly after he killed noble money, the death of Shaluoxing was made known to the other sects. The space around that wild continent was immediately sealed tightly. The death of noble money shocked the Clear Flower sect. While sealing the area, they searched for the murderer like crazy, but by then Wang Lin was already far away. The cultivators from the rank 6 region naturally found the corpse in the valley Shaluoxing was in, and they all targeted the 5 Poison sect. Facing the fierce gazes of all the sects, the 5 Poison sect couldn't even explain. An undercurrent began to move in the rank 5 region. After returning to the continent of Mo Luo, Wang Lin turned into a ray of light and headed toward the origin sect. He knew that the rank 5 region was going to get chaotic. The rank 6 region cultivators would widen their search, and at that time, his identity in the origin sect would be very important. Wang Lin's return didn't cause too much attention in the origin sect. He instantly appeared in the southern courtyard. The moment he appeared, he saw Xu Yun sitting outside the house and her startled expression. Xu Yun was about to speak, but Wang Lin didn't pay attention to her and waved his sleeves. Large amounts of herbs appeared and soon formed a small mountain between them. "I'm returning your herbs." Wang Lin said one thing and then entered the house. Xu Yun looked at the herbs before her and gasped. With her insight, she could tell that many of these herbs were difficult to obtain, and their value was far beyond the worth of the herbs Wang Lin had consumed. She was startled for a long time before finally recovering her senses and letting out a breath of relief. After Wang Lin left, she was scolded by her teacher daily and was very worried. Her teacher had said that if Senior Seng Nio didn't return, then when the Purple Dao sect arrived, she would be the one who brought ruin to the sect. Wang Lin sat inside the house with a serious gaze and pointed at his chest with his right hand. His face was still pale and he began to cultivate. Soon, flashes of white lines started being forced out of his body. These white lines twisted and looked extremely ferocious. Wang Lin's right hand quickly grabbed the wild lines and dragged them out. Blood gushed out and dyed his clothes red. Staring at the white lines in his hand, coldness appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. He mercilessly squeezed them and they collapsed into dust. Wang Lin continued to cultivate and forced the white lines out of his body. He had spent all his time on the return journey on this, so there weren't many white lines remaining inside his body. On the third day after Wang Lin returned to the origin sect, he had forced all the white lines out. After crushing the last white line into dust, his eyes shined. His right hand reached at the void and his storage space appeared. The jade and the pill recipe on the beast bone flew out into his hand. Wang Lin took a deep breath. After obtaining them, he hadn't had any time to study them. Now that he could finally relax, he was about to study them. However, just at this moment, his eyes suddenly narrowed and he put the jade and beast bone away. In a flash, he disappeared and charged underground toward where his original body was. The trial. This video will end here.